Good morning. I'm here with Professor Ram Chalapa. He is professor at Emory University in the United States, Atlanta, and the academic director of the master program in business analytics. We will have a talk about this program and what skills the students get out of this program and how do he see this program in the long term. So thank you very much for accepting this small talk. And my first question is, in Colombia, we don't have a master program in business analytics. From your perspective, what are the main challenges in designing and implementing such program in our country?
I think the trend that you're observing is that a lot of business schools are now incorporating programs of such technical nature. And the Master of Science in Business Analytics is a program that you can think of as being at the intersection of business, data, and technology. So which means that we want to provide sort of the fundamental, sort of the courses, the content that constitute business, that constitute data, and that constitute technology. Business we do already. Data to some extent we do. Technology perhaps not as much. So one of probably the most difficult component of starting the program is to ensure that you have the right faculty who can teach machine learning, who can teach statistics, who can teach cloud computing, and so on, because that base level of information knowledge is necessary for these students before they can go on to solve business problems.
Thank you. Why Emory, knowing that Georgia Tech is a strong competitor in analytics and well-known here in Colombia for industrial engineering and technological, why is this a right place, and why a business school teaching a master in business analytics and not going to an engineering school?
So we always say that, if you want to do pure data science, there is no better place than to go to a good engineering school or a computer science department. We always say that if you want to do business analytics, then you come to us. And the difference between sort of the engineering-oriented or the technology-oriented data science is that their goal is a technically superior solution. Our goal is always the ROI. What is the value of investing in this kind of technology and doing this kind of AI to solve a business problem? And therefore, it's kind of quite important that our students are well-versed in all those three dimensions of business, data, and technology so that they're able to solve a business problem. And what we found was that the industry in Atlanta responded very well to this because they were indeed looking for people who could communicate to both sides, communicate with both sides, that is the business side as well as the data side.
Okay. So how does this program ensure that the technical training and analytics is always connected to the real business decision-making? As you were saying, ROI. So how do you actually ensure that this is the students will get these three dimensions?
So I think one of the first things I tell my students is that this is a professional degree program. In other words, our goal is to be ready for the workplace from day one. And which basically means that it is important that we train our students not only in the technical elements or in the data elements of the program, but also how does this fit in with the workplace. And so the crown jewel of a program like ours is the Capstone project, the final practicum that they do, which in our case is essentially a consulting project. So what we do, and I have a managing director that works for us, and we take a business problem that the industry is facing currently, and we convert it to a data problem, come up with a data solution, and convert the data solution back to a business solution. So that entire set of activities have to be done by the students. And we don't do toy problems. We work on real problems with the industry that the industry actually is seeking answers to and may not have enough resources at their disposal at that time.
That was my questions. What kind of partnership or companies, how difficult was to get those partnerships so the student has on-hands projects and practical exposure?
Well, I think the number one thing is to establish trust with the industry, that you're going to do something of value to them. And I have a long history of doing consulting and a variety of other relationships that I have with the industry. So that was a good starting point to kind of do this. And second, it's very important to hire somebody with industry experience in the academic program. And that's what I did. I hired, in fact, actually one of my former MBA students who happened to, be work in the industry as an operations expert and as the managing director of the program. And so in establishing these connections with the industry, not only do you first establish trust, but you also have to ensure that you're going to create something of value. So it's very important. So I literally spent the summer and fall semesters with these firms, and our goal is to ensure that we are able to take a problem that we can chunk it in such a way that it can be worked on by a team of 5 students within a semester, so that there is clear understanding of the outcomes that are actually necessary. And our school is very well known for MBAs and therefore their ability to speak and do good presentations. So the outcome of our practicum is actually a complex combination of not only these presentations, but also code that they will generate, as well as the models that they will actually generate, and finally a visualization output, which is like a Tableau where the managers can do counterfactual. So in order to establish this relationship with the industry, it's very important to deliver and understand what they want, rather than you thinking about only what your school wants to educate the students on.
Great. I have a question related to, besides the technical skills or you talked are important, how does the program help students develop leadership communication skill to present insights to executive and non-technical stakeholders?
Absolutely. I think, again, the differentiator for our school and our program is, I say my students are as good data-wise, like a data scientist, like a statistician, as good technically, like a computer science student, but never forgetting first and foremost that we are business school students. And so I made it a point to learn all the things that work very well in our school for our MBA students. And we have incorporated a number of those elements, including a problem-solving boot camp that allows the student to understand problems and presentations of solutions, etc., from a high-level perspective, so that they can learn how to present their very technical problem and solution in a very accessible fashion to the managers at the other end.
Okay. What proportion of the curriculum is like elective and what mandatory? How flexible is for the students to have different paths?
The current version of the program is not very flexible because it's a 10-month program and we teach, I think, about 32, 34 credits in 10 months. So there is not that much flexibility because our goal is to ensure that our students are fairly well trained at the end of the fall semester, so that in the spring, when they take 3 electives, and they have an option to take 3 electives in a total of about 10 courses. And so I would say about 30% of the program is flexible, but we create a lot of flexibility also through a wide variety of these practicum projects. We have practicum projects from different verticals, and we also have practicum projects from different functional areas. So that also provides you with some level of flexibility.
How does the curriculum address critical issues as ethics, data privacy, and the responsible use of analytics and AI?
And again, given that this is a 10-month program, we have a finite amount of time. I wish one could spend more time on privacy and data ethics and so on. But our students not only get introduced to these concepts at the very beginning, but during their project, they actually learn this firsthand. Majority, in fact, almost all of our practicum, our students work with the technology infrastructure, the cloud of the client, which means that they go through the same security checks that an employee will go through. They have the same set of rules in terms of what they can and cannot do with the data, what they can actually show to someone, what can they discuss with their friends. So when they sign an NDA, they learn quite a bit about the proper corporate ethical and legal way of using the data and resources that they have access to. But through many of the courses that we do, we also continuously emphasize the almost unlimited power that they have vested in themselves as a result of all the data that they have access to.
Yeah, thank you. One question that always goes when you talk about technology. Technology changes really fast. How does the program maintains updated to ensure that it remains relevant and competitive?
That's an important question. Technology evolves really fast, as we all know. So our program, and I say this very often, we are not a vocational school. We are not teaching tools. We teach principles. So our program is language and tool agnostic. And that's why some professors teach in R, some teach in Python. We don't know what the next language is going to be. And currently, a lot of the cloud computing, while it's primarily taught using AWS, Amazon Web Services, we also do cloud computing using Google Service, GCP, as well as Azure. Because some of our clients, they use a wide variety of cloud computing services. So we are completely tools agnostic. Also, our visualization, while in the classroom, can be done using Tableau. Our students are equally experts at doing the same set of things in Microsoft BI, because some of our clients are using Microsoft products.
Great. One final question. Now, it's been difficult for us to hire some professors in analytics. Actually, I'm currently the coordinator of the supply chain management technology here at the School of Management on the Andes. How easy it was for you to have this team of professors with this technical background, but also business perspective? Did you have to hire a lot of people or to implement this master program?
Absolutely. My own personal incentive in actually starting this program was to really infuse our particular area, the Goizueta Business School, with a lot of young talent. And a lot of the new young talent was not only doing research on AI and the implications of AI, many of them were also interested in teaching in these topics. So as we say in a good school, you create positions for teaching and you hire for research, and which is what we did. I believe I have chaired, in addition to being the founding dean of this program, I think I've probably chaired 7 to 8 faculty search committees, and we have hired some absolutely fantastic faculty, I would say, as a result of this program. I really think people are very critical for the success of this program. And not only am I proud of the faculty that we have hired during this period, but the staff. It's absolutely critical to hire the right kind of staff for these kinds of programs that change quite fast.
Do you want to add something, final thoughts, or whatever you consider that is important?
I think, when we look at countries like Colombia or many countries that may be marginally behind in technology adoption at the organizational level than the United States, I think it is time for those schools to kind of think about how business schools can impart these technical and data-driven education so that they can see how they can propagate their business thinking into the organization. There is no strategy today without technology. So it's very important for business schools to incorporate these kinds of programs and curriculum into their structure.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.